Payoff pitch, strike three called. The 0-1 and Metakosh the other way, deep to the gap and gone. As Rittenauer sends it out deep, Metakosh gives a charge and it's gone. Clark gets the side, the wind, and the 0-2. Strike three. As this one's chopped up the line, going to be a tough play for Long. Runner comes home to score, and the throw is not in time. Sends this one in the air, right side, back, and that one bounces, and it gets to the wall. DeMoss off to the races. Fezco will score. There comes Bashelia. It's a two-run double for Joey DeMoss. It's the 2A quarterfinals between the Serra Catholic Eagles, the number 1 seed, and the number 8 seed, the Laurel Spartans, here this afternoon from Spartan Stadium, basically, right here on the campus of Shaler High School. Alex Lyons, Jose Negron with you, or I should say Titan territory, get it right. But nonetheless, Alex Lyons, Jose Negron with you for all the action of this rematch of last year's 2A quarterfinals between number 1 Serra Catholic and number 8 Laurel. It was a lot of fun a season ago between these two teams as the Spartans from Laurel and the Eagles from Serra Catholic get set to duel once again. Laurel, the 8 seed, coming in 10-6 overall. Serra Catholic a perfect 20-0 as the number 1 seed. Laurel with the 13-4 victory in their last game to get here versus Shady Side Academy, as they had 13 walks issued in that game, did not come back to hunt the Laurel Spartans. But for Serra Catholic, on the other hand, it was a bit of a scare against the 16 seed. Got down 3-0 early on, had a battle back, and Zach Black, the sophomore, one of the best in the business in the entire state, sent a 2-run jack over the center field fence, and according to head coach Brian Zarenda, that's the furthest he's ever seen that young man hit a baseball.
Yeah, and he's hit them pretty far. The entire Black family, with baseball in their blood, and of course his older brother Mark used to do that quite often for the Eagles as well. But this is a Serra Catholic team looking to get into the semifinals. Once again, they've been in the semis every year since 2015. They're looking to do it once again and trying to kind of replicate what they were able to do against Laurel last year. It was a 1-0 win for the Eagles in the quarterfinals against the Spartans. The lone run scored on an error in the bottom of the 7th inning on a ground ball hit by Michael Schenk. Wide throw allowed a run to score. I believe it was Ethan Coddington, the pinch runner, to score the game-winning run in that one and send Serra Catholic into the semifinals against Seton LaSalle. So we'll see if history repeats itself or if Laurel can exact some revenge here today. Yeah, absolutely. Should be a lot of fun, as the man who Serra Catholic thought was going to be well-rested, Zach Karp, will be on the hill today. Karp came in and absolutely threw darts against the best center Bulldogs. Came in bases loaded, nobody out. Zach Karp on 12 pitches struck out 3 batters, pounding the zone at Latrobe High School to keep things at 4. Isaiah Petty, the sophomore, struggled in his first playoff start. Dombrowski, a freshman, he was unable to record an out, but everyone's available in this pitching staff except Isaiah Petty for Serra Catholic, as Bashelia threw a full inning, Karp went 3, Dombrowski just a few pitches, Petty the only one unavailable, but Isaiah Petty known a little bit more for his bat as well, and that's saying a lot with how good he has been on the defensive side, on the pitching side of things here this year. Logan Harris, the senior first baseman, will lead things off, followed by Colby Del Rosa, the senior center fielder. Batting third will be Connor Ponsloff, the junior catcher. Batting in the 4th spot and doing the pitching, Cameron Calderero. Michael Pasquarello, the senior, will bat next. He's out in left field. Luke McCoy, the shortstop, follows, batting 6th. Ryan Tellez will bat 7th. Hunter Kobalka, the sophomore, will bat in the 8th spot, and batting 9th will be John Andre, the junior right fielder, as the lefty Harris will dig in. He pitched against Shady Side Academy. There was some contradiction and some controversy about that. With that being said, due to the fact that it was when he started that final batter. He went to 108 pitches but started under 105, which is the required, as Zach Karp, the lefty, winds and deals, breaking ball, misses ball 1.
First pitch, 4:31 here from Shaler High School. Here at Mataluvich Field, 1-0, make it 1-1. As Zach Karp pounds the zone once more. On the season, Zach Karp, 0.79 ERA, 9-0, 69 Ks in 45 and a third innings of work for the big junior left-hander. Just 6 earned runs against. He's only walked 3 batters, and he has a whip at .618. As that one in the air, right side. Ranging back, the second baseman, Coddington, and Ethan Coddington puts the squeeze on it, 1 up, 1 down against Zach Karp. As it's DeMoss at first, Coddington at second, Zach Black, the sophomore, out at shortstop with Matt Bishalia at the third base bag. Rocco Kite and Shank left to right in the outfield, and Karp being caught by the senior Nico Aramick.
I think the most impressive part about that stat line on Karp is the 3 walks. I mean, he doesn't allow free passes, and if you're going to want to get guys on base, you're going to have to put the bat in the ball.
First pitch swinging, chop left side. There's Zach Black, and it eats up the sophomore. And he's 6 on Black. Puts DeRosa on first with 1 out for Ponsloff, the junior catcher.
That's something Serra Catholic is going to have to limit as well. Karp is good enough to get outs, induce ground balls, induce fly balls, but you got to be solid defensively behind him, and I know that's something that Brian Zarenda and his coaching staff really preach heavily is strong defense.
And throw back over to DeMoss as DeRosa in there safely. And I think something to put on here that's completely different, this is something I think Serra has not played on this year at all, this type of surface. And that being said, or at least not a lot, that is, as the pitch by Karp, breaking ball in there for a strike. And that's the grass infield with then the dirt around the outskirts. Boston Ball Field, complete dirt infield. We saw all turf at Latrobe for them, so it is a change of surface from grass to dirt. As this one's out to Black, will have an opportunity again. Underhand Coddington for 1 on to first. DeMoss with the pick, but not in time. A fielder's choice retires Ponsloff, the junior catcher, for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter in today's pitcher, Cameron Calderaro.
Yeah, nice job by Zach Black to kind of redeem himself there and get that out at second.
Cam Calderaro, he threw 43 pitches in relief, very similar to what Zach threw for the Serra Catholic Eagles in the first round game. Calderaro is the number 2, though, behind Eris, as there's a first pitch outside by the left-hander.
I think Karp only threw, 45 pitches through 3 innings, which allowed him to be eligible for this start.
Coach Arenda admitted as the throwback over and sliding in safely is Ponsloff at first that he thought about throwing Karp for 1 more batter, but he was convinced otherwise to bring in Matt Bishalia, and Bishalia did a pretty dang good job for Serra Catholic. He said he also thought about re-entering Isaiah Petty in the game, the pitch. As that one up high, make it 2-0.
Yeah.
Zach Karp loves that backdoor breaking ball. We haven't seen it yet today, especially against these right-handed hitters.
Yeah, I mean, he mixes his pitches so well. I think that's what makes him such a dangerous pitcher is, his arsenal's not, crazy. It's, standard, what you would expect. Fastball, changeup, curveball, and I know that he's been actually helping. I know that he's actually been helping, Isaiah Petty with that as well, in terms of his pitching arsenal. So
yeah, and it shows with Petty's backdoor breaking ball as well. Seen that through the course of the year. As the 2-1 by the left-hander, Karp, that one misses as the count goes 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at first. Nothing between Laurel and Serra Catholic here. Top of inning number 1 from Shaler. Winner has a date with either number 4 Carmichael's or number 5 Riverside. In the air, right side, up, out of play. Count stays goes full, I should say. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ponsloff over at first for the Laurel Spartans. Last year, these two teams played at La Roche. And now here at Shaler for this quarterfinal matchup, Zach Karp. The payoff pitch will have to wait. Ponsloff in safely at first.
Yeah, very thrilling 1-0 game last year at La Roche College. Serra Catholic able to squeeze that one out despite only having 2 hits in that one.
Payoff pitch, breaking ball, fouled off past Matt Bisceglia over at third. And Serra would like to forget about what happened in the semifinals at West Mifflin last year versus Seton LaSalle. It was a rough day in the office for the Eagles in that semifinal game versus Wagner in the then train of Seton LaSalle, who has lost a lot this year. Still a heck of a team, reason they are the 2 seed. As another payoff pitch by Karp in the dirt, low ball 4. As Zach Karp, a 2-out free pass, puts runners at first and second for Michael Pasquarello, the senior left fielder.
Yeah, great at bat there by Calderero against his mound opponent. That's got to be a key for Laurel, is try to draw out some at bats, try to get Karp's pitch count up. Serra Catholic has a lot of pitching options, but Karp is their ace. They're going to ride him as much as they can.
John Andre, he's in the 9th spot. We'll talk about that in a second. His ground ball out to Coddington, on to DeMoss. As that's a 4-3 put out to end the inning. But we'll make that comment about Andre when he comes up. But unique story I got about him from James Dotson with the Laurel County Sports Network. Worked with James at Trib for a while, so appreciate him passing along some information. Always appreciate another broadcaster helping out me. So after 1/2 inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 Spartans left aboard. It is Laurel 0, Serra Catholic coming to bat against the pitcher Cameron Calderero here this afternoon. And here is what Coach Brian Zarenda will send out against the 8th-seeded Laurel Spartan. Leading off will be the sophomore designated hitter Isaiah Petty. Batting second, the junior second baseman Ethan Coddington. Zach Black, the sophomore shortstop, bats third, leads the team in most major statistical categories. 580 average, 5 balls over the fence this year for the sophomore. Nico Aramick, the catcher, will back clean up, batting in the 5th spot. It's Joey DeMoss. He leads the team in runs batted in this season. Batting 6th, the senior third baseman Matt Bisceglia. In the 7th spot, it's the senior left fielder Max Rocco. Michael Shank will follow, batting 8th out in right field. And Eli Kite, the 9-hole hitter, he is in center field for Coach Brian Zarenda and the 20-0 Serra Catholic Eagles. Serra Catholic in the WPIAL postseason since 2007 hold a 31-12 mark. Overall, 50-20 in the playoffs in that time, state and district. And Coach Zarenda was sharing with me after that last game going back, I think he said 20 or so years, if not further, that he did not find another team that put together 6 straight 20-win seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, the consistency that they've been able to build and the winning culture that they've been able to develop, over the last several years. I mean, we started covering them for the Mon Valley Independent in, I want to say, 2017. And every year, they're just one of the best baseball teams in the area.
Yeah, as a reason why, 5 batters in this starting 9 for Serra Catholic average over 400. 7 of the 9 are over 330. Talk about up and down the lineup being pretty dang good for Coach Zarenda.
1 through 9. It's pretty incredible to see just how consistent their offense has become. And I know, even last year, we talk about the 1-0 win over Laurel. They struggled offensively in that game. But it really seems like this is a different type of offense. But we'll see, time will tell to see if that continues. I know they were able to get 9 runs over Best Center, but different animal here with Laurel and the teams that are remaining in this bracket.
Here comes Isaiah Petty, the sophomore, got the starting game 1. Saw 2 ABs, walked and tripled in the first round of the WPIAL postseason. First pitch by Calderero. Paints the outer third. 0-1 now to the sophomore Isaiah Petty. Petty really started to break onto the scene this year in all things athletics. Great basketball player for the Eagles, along with his first baseman DeMoss. As that one misses up high, count goes 1-1 now on Isaiah Petty. 404 average, 1 long ball, 15 runs batted in this season for the leadoff hitter.
Also a Mon Valley Independent Summer Basketball League player as well.
That's coming up. We're nearing the beginning of the Summer League Girls Draft. What, a week from Tuesday?
Yeah, it's coming up here in a few weeks. So.
Or maybe Thursday. I think it's a week from Thursday. So 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, get registered.
The 1-2. As Petty strikes out looking. 1 up, 1 down. Calderaro taking care of business, retiring Isaiah Petty, and here comes Ethan Coddington, 404. 20 runs batted in for the junior second baseman. Coddington into the box. Pitch by Calderaro. Up high, ball one to Coddington.
Couple of updates, couple teams go into the semifinals, Alex. Thomas Jefferson, a 1-0 win over Chartiers Valley. 5A baseball, South Allegheny 10-4 over Keystone Oaks in 3A softball.
And there for a strike to Coddington. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of inning number 1. 0-0 between Serra Catholic and Laurel. The 1-8 game here. Spot versus either Carmichael's or Riverside awaits the winner. That's a beautiful pitch there by Calderaro.
Yeah, he's working fast and mixing his pitches nicely here. Another 2-strike count here on Ethan Coddington.
Serra Catholic's coach Brian Zarenda said it was going to be a very patient approach here today as Coddington holds off 2-2. And after Laurel as a team issued 13 walks, I don't think you can blame him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to fight with 2 strikes here, though.
2-2. Fills things up on Ethan Coddington, does Calderaro.
There's, I think, a difference between being patient and just looking at strike 3. You know.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you.
But they're definitely going to have that type of approach, and these are patient hitters to begin with.
The payoff pitch by Calderaro to Coddington in the air, right side, up, out of play as Coddington stays alive.
Tell you what, the guy on deck, he's not looking for a walk. He's
a first pitch swing type of guy.
He's looking at sending one into the gap or over the fence.
Coddington goes fishing, comes up without a bite, drop third, strike 2-3, put out. 2 strikeouts on 2 batters for Calderaro. 2-3 put out, retires Coddington. And here comes Zach Black. 580 on the season, 5 long balls, 29 runs batted in for the sophomore. Zach Black on the verge of being an absolute breakout Division I prospect. He's already a pretty good one, but he's going to be top of the charts, I think, by the time his high school career comes to an end. Already the number 7th ranked shortstop for his draft class in the entire country. He's the 41st ranked player, all positions in the state. Again, just a sophomore, not a lot of size still yet on him.
Yeah, I think he's just starting to develop and just starting to kind of hit his prime. I mean, once he gets into his junior, senior years, I think he's going to do even more damage than he's already done.
As it's 1-2 now on Zach Black. Black hit his home run with 2 strikes in game number 1 of this postseason. He was a triple shy of the cycle. Breaking ball misses. Count goes even on Zach Black. But one thing I think they've done, and maybe why Coach Zarenda's also saying be patient, is it's been a couple deep counts here so far besides the Petty one, and I don't think he's too confident in what Laurel has behind Calderaro today. As Black out the other way, and that one up off the glove of Andre in right, and Zach Black digs for 2, slides in safely. Pasquarello in left, it's DeRosa in center, Andre out in right. Kobalka at third, McCoy at short, Tellez and Ares on the right side. Calderaro being caught by Ponsloff here today, as there's the first base runner of the game for the Serra Catholic Eagles. Wait to see what the official scoring goes of. So it is an E9 to put Zach Black on second. That's how I kind of would have thought it, as first pitch ball to Nico Aramick.
Well, Black had an error in the first inning, and he benefits from one here in the bottom of the first. Now, golden chance here for Nico Aramick to be a run producer in that cleanup spot.
Nico, 333, 1 homer, 15 runs batted in for the senior backstop as the count pulls even 1-1 on Aramick. Wind blowing slightly out to center field. If it wasn't for the flag, I probably wouldn't know. Very pleasant day for some quarterfinal baseball. Pitch to Aramick, swing and a miss. As it's 1-2 now on Nico Aramick. 2 outs, 1 on. Zach Black, the sophomore, out at second. Trying to turn things over to Joey DeMoss, the leader in runs batted in for this Serra Catholic team. Aramick goes chasing and strikes out. So 3 Ks in the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 eagle left the board, and 1 full inning in the books here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason. Here on the Triple Live High School Sports Network, your score, Laurel and Serra Catholic knotted up at 0. As Laurel will look to change that when we come back right here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason, exclusively on the Triple Live High School Sports Network.
Life is full of surprises. Some good, some not so good. It's why your State Farm agent is there with good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates for everyone. Yep, that's right. At State Farm, you get great service and great rates with every policy, so you can be prepared for all life's surprises. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. When you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Warnick in Perryopolis today at 412-668-0111.
One inning in the books, 0-0 between Laurel and Serra Catholic as we move into inning number 2 as Zach Karp finishes up his warm-up tosses, and he'll get set to face Luke McCoy, Ryan Tellez, and Hunter Kabalka, as that is 6, 7, and 8 in the Spartans lineup. Again, Laurel 13-4 victors over Shady Side Academy, who gave Serra Catholic their biggest scare this season. Serra Catholic first undefeated season in program history. 5-1 extra inning. Combined no-hitter between the man on the hill, Zach Karp, and the man in left, Max Rocco. First pitch misses up high, as holding back was Luke McCoy for ball 1.
Yeah, 9 innings from Karp in that one, 16 strikeouts. Just imagine that. You had 16 strikeouts and were able to get through 9 innings without going over your pitch count.
Yeah, that's impressive. The 2-0, swing and a miss. Karp throws up in higher echelon of the 80s. As there's that breaking ball back up the middle, and that's the first hit of the game for the Laurel Spartans, as McCoy sends a slow dribbler through the infield. 1 on, nobody out. Here comes Ryan Tellez, the junior second baseman. And Zach Karp coming in an 0.79 earned run average, just 7 runs against, 6 earned, in over 45 innings of work entering play, striking out 69 batters. As back in safely at first is Luke McCoy. Best center was able to do something nobody has this year, and that was really contain Serra Catholic and control them on the base paths. Right now, Laurel hasn't given them a chance to be aggressive. Bunt shown, sent right back up. Karp lets it go to Moss on to Coddington for the fielder's choice sacrifice, or excuse me, not for the fielder's choice, for the sacrifice, as it is a 3-4 retirement of Tellez on the sac bunt. So runner at second with 1 out for Hunter Kabalka. Kabalka, a sophomore, third baseman, steps in. On deck will be John Andre. Be a big time for Karp's first strikeout of the game if you're Serra Catholic. Pitch home by Zach. Misses low, ball 1. Again, both pitchers eligible to pitch today, but just 1 day's rest after throwing 40-plus pitches on both sides. So durability will be a question, as it was a low throw. They had him as Coddington unable to pick it. If Zach just puts that a little higher, that would have been out number 2 of McCoy. It was almost a base running blunder for the senior shortstop of Laurel. They'll try it again. Karp low again with the throw, but Zach Black keeps it in front.
Couple of risky throws there by Karp. Nice job by Coddington and Black to keep him in front of him.
1 on, 1 out. Karp comes home. Breaking ball misses. That one just kind of doesn't seem like he's getting that spin he wants on it.
Yeah, hasn't been able to throw those breaking balls the way he has wanted to early on here.
It's one of the best in the WPIAL when it's going at full capacity. The 2-0 by Karp. Ground ball. Coddington at second. On the DeMoss. There's out number 2 is on the throw. McCoy advances to third. Need a 2-out hit for John Andre, the junior right fielder. Interesting thing about him, Aaron Doty had been the DH for Andre basically all season, got injured in that first Neshannock game. Andre able to get a hit against Neshannock, able to get a hit last game, saying he doesn't need to be DH for. Saying he can hit. He's looking to do that right here.
Yeah, you get opportunities at the plate and you make some noise. You deserve to be in here.
Pitch by Karp, swing and a miss. 0-2. Zach looking for a big 2-out punch out with a runner 90 feet away.
You know he's going to try and get him to maybe chase something here as Andre is granted time. What do you think? He's going to try and blow one past him or get him chasing something?
Breaking ball it is, in the air, left side. There's Max Rocco under it, and Max Rocco puts the squeeze on it for out number 3 on the F7. No runs, first hit of the game, no errors, and another Spartan left stranded. That's now some quick math. 28 base runners Zach Karp is stranded here this season. I don't think any 3 bigger than the 3 he stranded last game that were all inherited to the junior pitcher. But after 1.5 here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIL postseason, your score, Serra Catholic and Laurel tied at 0. As Serra will get their second turn at the dish. Joey DeMoss, Matt Bisceglia, Max Rocco. 5, 6, and 7 in the Eagles lineup due up against Calderero. As Calderero wasted no time striking out 3 in the bottom of inning number 1. And Serra Catholic, they've been the number 1 ranked team, not just in the district, but in the state all year long in 2A. Trying to continue that streak, trying to stay undefeated. Haven't won a WPIAL title since 2016. Last state championship was in 2011. Runners up at the district level in 19 and 18. Last time they were runners up at the state level was also in 2019.
Yeah, the expectations never change for Serra Catholic year in, year out. You know, I've talked to Brian Zarenda at the beginning of the season for previews of each team the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, and every year it's pretty much the same that, you know, they expect to win Whitby and state championships.
First pitch, strike 1 to Joey DeMoss, 426 on the season for Joey. He's driven in 32 on the year, which leads the Eagles. 0-1 to DeMoss, make it 1-1 as that one sails high on Calderero. DeMoss was really that catalyst for the Eagles basketball team this year. The 1-1. That one bounces, make it 2-1 on Joey DeMoss.
And another MVI SBL player. I believe him and Petty actually teammates during the summer league months.
You always like to see that, you know, get that chemistry a little higher.
DeMoss has been, like you said, Alex, the 32 RBIs has been such an important run producer for this Eagles team, hitting this 5 spot.
2-1, make it 3-1. And the thing, Joey DeMoss probably had the worst start out of anybody on this Serra Catholic lineup hitting-wise, and now he's second on the team in batting average, first in RBI, and he's just done it all.
Yeah, and you know, I know Zarenda was kind of talking about that at the beginning of the season, how he and Nico Aramick were both struggling to make things happen and started to get things going.
Count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Bottom of the second inning in a scoreless game here from Shaler. Payoff pitch, DeMoss in the air. Shallow center. Norosa under it. Few steps back, makes the grab to retire DeMoss. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the second. That's going to bring up Matt Bisceglia, the senior third baseman. Matt up over 350 at 364 this season. Closed out the best center game on the mound. He was 6-0 on the mound last year. He's thrown 6 total innings this year.
And I think he had 3 RBIs in that Beth Center game, correct?
He did.
And believe it or not, Bishelia was Serra's leading hitter last year, batting average-wise.
Yeah, Matt, 3 RBIs, a 2-out, 2-run double or single in the first when his team was down by 3. Swing and a miss, 0-2 on Bishelia. Also had a sac fly to tie the game at 3 at the third. Calderero wasting no time, quickly up now on Matt Bishelia. The 0-2 by Calderero. That one bounces, blocked by the catcher, Ponsloff.
Yeah, Calderero's done a good job of just attacking hitters today. You know, he had a 3-1 count there to DeMoss, but battled back to get the fly out.
Swing and a miss as Bishelia goes chasing. 4th punch out by Calderero. Max Rocco, the West Virginia Wesleyan commit, as the senior digs in. Led this Eagles football team to a WPIL title. Takes strike 1. Helped get him to the big dance before losing in the States.
Yeah, they went all the way to the state championship game as well, and it's a great story of what the Eagles were able to do during the football season.
Calderero only threw 2 innings in that last game. Gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked 4, struck out 1. As up 1-2 on Rocco. He struck out 4 through an inning and 2/3 so far here today.
It seems like Rocco and Bishelia both having trouble with that high pitch.
See if he goes back to it, the 1-2. Evens things up at 2-2. Up over 30 pitches already for Calderero. 2-2 to Max Rocco. Struck him out looking. 5th punch out of the game for Calderero. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board, and after 2 full innings here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIL postseason on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Your score, Laurel and Serra Catholic knotted up at 0, and Jose, this has the making of what last year was all over again.
Yeah, it's looking like a pitcher's duel once again. And Calderero has had his strikeout pitch working for him. He's just been dominant so far through 2 innings. Almost first time through the lineup with Shank and Eli Kite due up to start the third. But pitcher's duel with him and Zach Karp kind of rolling through the first few innings. Zach Karp looking to make something happen here in the 3rd inning. I believe he's only at about 26 pitches here through 2 innings of work against Laurel, which will have its top of the order due up here in the 3rd inning with Logan Ayers, Kobe DeRosa, and Connor Ponsloff.
As here is Logan Ayers, popped out, first time up.
Ayers flied to Coddington at second base in his last at-bat in the 1st inning to lead off the game.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Logan Ayers. As that one out to DeMoss, off a weird hop. Joey DeMoss takes care of business to clean it up. 1 up, 1 down.
Huge play there by DeMoss. I mean, that gets over his glove and it goes down the first base line.
That could be trouble.
Ayers is standing on second base at the least.
You know, and what do you say normally coming to the playoffs, Jose? It's game of momentum. That's kind of been the opposite for Laurel. Their momentum was early on in this season, and it's been impressive what they were able to put together in that first game and through the first part of this one so far, as we see Del Rosa, who reached on an E6 up, takes ball 1, because Laurel, they won their first 7 games of the season. They outscored their opponents 101-7. They lost 6 of their last 8, as that one misses as well. 2-0 now on the right hand and hitting Del Rosa, but they lost 6 of their last 8 going into the postseason, being outscored 50-32. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 2-1. That's the Carp pitch once. That's the pitch Carp wants to spot here this afternoon. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. As from taking the floor out to raising the ceiling, Zach Carp gets 2 big strikes to even things up.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many swinging strikes here with Laurel at the plate. I've seen quite a few with Serra, but
that one almost took Carp's head off into center field. It's going to be a 1-out single for Del Rosa. Second time he's reached here today. Now that's going to bring up Ponsloff, the junior catcher. Reached on a fielder's choice, stranded at second, back in the first.
Yeah, it's the second time that Laurel's gotten one of those singles up the middle. Luke McCoy did the same thing in the second inning. That one had a little more elevation on it as Carp got a glove on it but couldn't fully bring it in.
Throw over to first, back in safely there is Del Rosa. Ponsloff, the junior, at the dish. Again, left stranded in the first inning. Laurel stranded 3 runners so far here in this one against the left-hander, Zach Carp. Carp on the rubber, looks in, gets the sign from Eremick. Pitch home. That one misses. 1-0. I think the big difference here today for Zach Carp versus that first game, it's a much tighter strike zone as that one gets away from Eremick, and up to second on the play goes Del Rosa.
Yeah, big backstop here at Shaler as well, so always got to worry too that maybe ball gets past Eremick and maybe DeRosa was thinking 3 there.
Good hustle by Nico to get back to the ball. Now Zach Carp with 1 on and 1 out. Runner in scoring position for the 3rd straight inning for the Laurel Spartans against the left-hander Carp. Carp delivers home. That one in the dirt. Eremick keeps it in front. 3-0 now on the right-handed hitting catcher. Calderero on deck. He walked first trip by Zach Carp. Again, Carp only walked 3 batters all season coming into this game. As that one fills up, he's on the verge of walking his 2nd. The 3-1 by Carp. There is ball 4. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time all season, Zach Carp has issued multiple free passes in a game.
Yeah, and Brian Zarenda will take a trip out and try and calm down his senior left-hander while meeting with the entire infield. Junior pitcher, excuse me.
As 2 on, 1 out, it's Calderero and Pasquarello due up next for the Laurel Spartans against the left-hander Carp. And you think you're in good shape if you're Laurel. You never know when Zach Carp can turn it up and strike out back-to-back batters on 6 pitches. He did that against Best Center basically, and he'll look to do that here through the heart of the order with Calderero and Pasquarello due up. 2 on, 1 out. 0-0 game here in the top of the 3rd inning. Zach Carp. First pitch home. Breaking ball, little tapper. That's going to work as a sac bunt. Carp to DeMoss as the swinging bunt. Throw back to 3rd and not in time. Bashelia tried to apply the tag on the runner over at 3rd and Del Rosa.
Yeah, big opportunity here for Michael Pasquarello. He had runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 outs when he grounded out to Coddington at 2nd in the 1st inning. Now another opportunity here with runners in scoring position. We're going to see a pinch runner for the catcher Ponsloff.
That's Kissick, the freshman. And Jose, is it spitting?
I felt a little spit. I didn't want to mention anything.
That's not okay. It was supposed to be nice today. 2 on, 2 outs, the lefty in. First pitch blocked by Eremick And that's important. Again, you mentioned this big backstop that Nico does not allow a free run to come in to score. The 1-0 by Zach Karp will have to wait. Looking at the radar, though, there is no sign of rain in the area as Karp fires that one home. And there's the classic Brian Zarenda woo from the first base dugout. Liking that one from his junior left-hander. That's the scary thought. He's only a junior.
Lots to like there.
Bounce blocked by Aramick. Nico, a great defensive catcher for these Eagles. Two balls, one strike, two outs, two in scoring position here for the Spartans, top of the third. Pitch home by Zach Karp. That one misses just up above the letters.
Now 3-1 count here for Pasquarello, and Luke McCoy sitting on deck after that second inning single.
3-1. Karp paints the bottom third. Not much you can do with that one if you're the left-handed hitting Pasquarello. With 3-2, does Karp challenge him or try to get him to chase with the base open?
I think you got to challenge him here.
The payoff pitch by Zach Karp. Breaking ball struck him out looking. Zach Karp to perfection. And again, Zach Karp, not someone who shows a ton of emotion, but you know when Zach is fired up, as he was pumped up after that huge strikeout looking to end the inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, one walk, and two more Spartans left stranded. As through 2.5, briskly moving. No scoring thus far. Still no hits for the Serra Catholic Eagles. They'll look to change that as it's Shank, Kite, and Isaiah Petty due up. And just a reminder to all of you listening out there that this game and the broadcast rights of this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. This broadcast is intended exclusively for the benefit of the viewing and listening audience, and any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent from the WPIAL and Trib Total Media is strictly prohibited. And yes, I do see that in my sleep. Just for all those wondering.
Seems like it.
As here comes Calderaro, inning number 3. Laurel, they've had chances. They've danced around the bases. They've just been unable to cross home. Scoreless here in the home half of the third, and here comes Michael Shank. First pitch to Shank. Misses ball 1. Shank, one of the best punters in the WPIL, especially in 2A.
Yeah, not too bad on the defensive side of the ball as well. One of the catalysts for Serra Catholic football's incredible defensive campaign.
Be excited to see what they can do next year as well. That one misses. 3 balls, no strikes, nobody on, nobody out. That's what Laurel did very well in game number 1 of the playoffs. Walk batters, but they didn't let it come around to hurt them too often. 3-0. Make it 3-1 on Michael Shank.
Yeah, it's really the only at-bat that Serra has been able to get into a 3-ball count against
at least ahead in the count.
Yeah, ahead with a 3-ball count against Calderaro. He's been pretty solid here today.
3-1, there's ball 4. First free pass of the game for Calderaro. It's an issue to Michael Shank, as that will bring up Eli Kite, the speedy center fielder. Perfect time possibly to watch for, and I think you're going to see Laurel expect the drag bunt here is Kobalka making his way in onto the infield grass.
Yeah, something Serra does incredibly well is playing small ball, and I think that's what they're going to want to do here.
First pitch, ball 1 to Eli Kite.
No bunt shown there, and no, Kite is pretty good at that out of the number 9 spot in this Serra lineup. It shows here.
Pulls back. 2-0 on Eli Kite. Calderero shook his head, not a fan. You know, I have no issues with being frustrated with your pitcher, but I've seen it multiple times, that stuff like that come back to bite them just because the umpire now has a gripe with you, which I disagree with, as it's 3-0 now.
That one's inside as well. I think
You know, we saw that earlier this year with a catcher holding a ball about 3 or 4 seconds and then calls that they were getting, they no longer got. The 3-0 to Kite, not even close. Back-to-back free passes, and Serra Catholic turns the order around with 2 on and nobody out, and they still have no hits. As here's a meeting in front of the mound, I should say, between Calderero and Ponsloff, as it's a brief one.
Yeah, 3 base runners for Serra Catholic so far through first 2 innings, with the error allowing Zach Black to reach in the first, and now back-to-back walks to Shank and Kite, and Isaiah Petty now with a good opportunity at the top of the lineup.
He struck out looking first time through. Bunt shown, laid down first base side, charging in Aris onto the second baseman. He falls down, and here comes Shank. He will score, and Serra strikes first on the error. Perfect bunt by Petty, pulling Aris off the bag, and sliding was Tellus over at first.
May you call that an E3 on the throw?
I would
it
say
looked like a wide throw.
We'll wait to see what the. I always go by the official game changer.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a wide throw there by.
I think
Ayers.
I think he would have kept it in front to prevent the run. I'm going to give that an E4. The runners at the corners, nobody out. 1-0 Serra Catholic leads as Michael Shank scores the bottle-breaking run.
What does that they say? E4 on there. All right.
Bunt shown, pulled back by Coddington, now 2-0. Runners on, and Calderero's pinpoint accuracy has faded away. See if he can find it once more. The strikeout pitch was his best friend through the first 2 innings, punching out 5 of 6 Serra Catholic Eagles. He needs another one now. 2-0, Coddington bunt, pulls back. Now it's 3-0 on Ethan Coddington. And I'd be shocked if Coddington pulls the bat off his shoulder.
No, I don't even know if you swing at either of the next 2 pitches.
1 in, 2 on, nobody out. 3-0, Coddington pulls back, ball 4. So Serra Catholic has plated 1 and loaded them up without the luxury of a hit here in the third. And the opposite of who you want to see is coming to the plate. That is the sophomore Zach Black. 585 long balls, 29 runs batted in. As Calderero's control has went away. As Gene DeGennaro in his 3rd season at the helm, making his way to the mound, a big infield conclave. 3rd season at Laurel, Ace coached Union for 8 years, still a gym teacher at Union. Made 2 trips to the PIAL semis while at Union. 104 career wins. Along with taking a big brief step away from coaching for about 10 years, concentrated on his family, got back into it, and now here with the Spartans, trying to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. First pitch strike to Zach Black, and you know he had the stop sign. That was a pitch Zach Black likes to drive. No balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, nobody out. Black the other way, in the air, deep, up, and that one bounces off the fence. Zach Black brings home Kite. Here comes Petty in standing. A 2-run double for the sophomore Zach Black. RBI number 30 and 31 on the season. And it's 3-0 Serra here in the third.
Well, Zach Black once again showing why he's one of the best here in 2A. I mean, phenomenal season that he has had, and comes up in such a huge situation there and delivers.
3-0 Serra leads. 2 in scoring position for Nico Aramick. Swing and a miss by Aramick, strike 1. So Zach Black in the postseason He has 5 hits. He scored now 2 runs, driven in, 3, 4, 5 runs now, and he's been on base every time. Is that one to the backstop? There goes Coddington up the first base line, and Ethan Coddington makes it 4-0 Serra Catholic on the wild pitch. And on the throw, Zach Black goes to third, or excuse me, also on the wild pitch, I should say, Zach Black moves to third as Coddington and the Eagles up by 4. So Aramick with nobody out. Now it's just Zach Black 90 feet away. The 2-0 to Aramick. That one low. I don't think the scoreboard's right, actually, because I know Aramick swung through one, if I'm not mistaken. Over 50 pitches now for
2-1.
Calderero, as they did change it. 2-1 on to Aramick. Black 90 feet away. 3-1 as that one bounces off the catcher Ponsloff as the senior Aramick 0-for-1 struck out, looking for his 16th run batted in this season. Nico, 1 long ball this year as Aramick the senior digs back in. Runner at third. Nobody out, 4 runs in, and there's ball 4 to Nico Aramick. See if we see Fetzko come in to run for Aramick. As he's actually going to leave Nico, Coach Arenda says, let him stay. We see all that in the best center game, but really that's the only time we've seen it all year that Nico hasn't had his courtesy runner.
Yeah, I think right now, especially with no outs, And we're going to see a new pitcher here as first 2 innings were just dynamic for Cameron Calderero. And then here in the third, 4 walks, an error, and the 2-run double by Zach Black. Also a wild pitch that allowed Ethan Coddington to score that 4th run, and Serra Catholic with a 4-run edge.
Yeah, I think the impressive thing, though, Serra Catholic, they've scored 4 runs on 1 hit. And that was that Zach Black double.
Zach Black is the only one to really put a drive into the ball. He drove one out to right in the first inning as well. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if Calderero is going to stay in anywhere, as that'd be a big bat to take out of your lineup.
I believe that's Pasquarello.
So it might just be a switch.
Yeah, I think I would say that he's probably going to go out to left field,
so
and Pasquarello is going to come in and pitch here for the Laurel Spartans.
So we'll see Pasquarello do the honors now here for Laurel. See if indeed Calderero goes out to left, most likely. But Pasquarello has an inning of work under his belt this postseason against Shady Side Academy, and we'll take you through what he did in that game through 1 inning. No runs, no hits, no strikeouts, no walks. Game up, got 3 men out, and that's all he needed to do, throwing just 10 pitches, 6 of them for strikes. As Pasquarello loosens up here to the catcher Ponsloff. Serra Catholic, they've struck for 4. First 4 men of the inning reach via the free pass. Serra scored the first run thanks to Michael Schenk. And then it was a 2-run double for Zach Black, making it 3-0. And then on the wild pitch, Ethan Coddington came home to score. Zach Black at third, Nico Aramick at first for Serra Catholic, up 4-0 here in inning number 3.
And the line on Cam Calderera, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 4 runs, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, all here in this 3rd inning. And, the walks weren't really the only thing. I mean, you had the wild pitch that allowed Coddington to score. You had the error that allowed Petty to score following the back-to-back walks, and Schenk hustling home from second to plate the game's first run. And then, of course, the 2-run double with the bases loaded by Zach Black. Just so impressive the way that he drove that opposite field as well. I mean, not something you would expect, but Zach Black is just so good at hitting to all field. It's pretty remarkable.
Okay, so I do have the changes for you, and there's more than you would think. As Pasquarello on the hill.
You do see Calderera over at third.
Calderera at third. Tellez to left as that one gets away, but not far enough for anyone to advance. So Calderera at third, Tellez to left, and into second goes Kobalka.
Big opportunity here for Joey DeMoss, who has runners on the corner here. Again, you mentioned it, Alex, 32 RBIs for him on the season.
As DeMoss fouls that one up and out of play. Almost off the fence at least, so no play for Ponsloff. Runners on the corners, nobody out, 4-0 the Eagles lead. As Pasquarello set at the chest, pitch home to Joey DeMoss, breaking ball in there, strike number 2, 1-2 on DeMoss. It's had a rough postseason, has Joey, but that tells you how good Serra's been, even when they can continue to win and put up runs without DeMoss producing. But they need him to start, I think.
Well, one game, you don't. Yep, there you go.
He says take that as Joey DeMoss the other way. An RBI single for the junior. Zach Black comes in to score, and it's 5-0 Serra. Still nobody out here in inning number 3. Serra Catholic showing the first 2 innings. And game number 1 of this postseason was just a mirage that they are indeed worthy of that number 1 ranking here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, I mean,
patience and waiting for your pitch, and when they've got it, they've hit it.
Yeah, clutch hitting here by 2 of your best players there, and Zach Black and DeMoss. That's what you need.
Pasquarello over to third, and off the bag comes Calderero. Quick up Aramick. Aramick in to score. As Nico Aramick makes it 6-0, and the ball got out of play, so Joey DeMoss makes it 7. Now, did you think that Nico beat that over at third?
I don't think so. I'm going to say that was an E1.
Just wanted to get your thoughts. I'll see what the scoring officially goes. But nonetheless, Serra Catholic's Aramick and Joey DeMoss both come around to score this inning. Run 6 and 7. Rocco bunts it on the third, goes Bashelia. 1-3, Rocco retired. As we batted around back up top to Shank, or back to the bottom with Michael Shank, but that's where we started this inning.
Yeah, first out there of the inning on that sack bunt by Rocco, and Shank led off this inning with a walk, later scored on the air with Isaiah Petty up at the plate.
Low ball 1 to Shank. Matt Bashelia on third. 2 runs came around to score on that E1 by the pitcher Pasquarello. It's 7-0 Serra Catholic here in the 3rd inning. Serra, they might make this a quick afternoon if Laurel doesn't settle down.
Yeah, and again, it's, patient approach. Couple of clutch hits from your biggest players, taking advantage of some miscues on Laurel's part and some small ball with the bunts.
Shank the other way, past the glove of Kobalka. In comes Bashelia as Shank slides at the first base bag unintentionally, but it is a 1-out RBI single for Michael Shank. The bats are back for Serra Catholic. I made a joke yesterday about Bell Vernon. They said that their bats had gone cold for so long till the 5th inning. The old Major League with Pedro Siriano reference got to wake up the bats. That's what Serra Catholic has done here in the 3rd. The bats are all awake for the Eagles.
Yeah, and it started with the bottom of their order, being able to get on base and, provide some trouble there for Laurel. When you're in those situations with nobody on, you can kind of, be easy going. But when 2 runners are on via free passes, it puts some pressure on the Laurel pitching staff.
Here's Eli Kite, reached on a free pass. Up in the count, 1 ball, no strikes, 1 on, 1 out, 7-0, or make it 8-0, the Serra Catholic Eagles lead after that RBI by Michael Shank. As that one gets away, and there's a free 90 for Michael Shank on the wild pitch. And Serra Catholic or Laurel, depending what happens in the rest of this one, will get the winner of number 4 Carmichael's and number 5 Riverside. If it is the Eagles, we'll be there for the semifinal matchup with MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, as it's now 2-1 on Eli Kite. If it is Carmichael's, I'm thinking W&J will be a pretty safe bet for the semifinal venue on Monday, as Kite granted time. Trying to get you a score of that other game on this side of the bracket in the quarters. As Kite in the air, left side. Ranging in, the left fielder, and on the run, Tellez makes the grab for out number 2 on the F7. Two outs, one on here, bottom of the third inning, 8-0 Serra Catholic leads. First pitch, breaking ball, strike 1. As that one misses to Isaiah Petty. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at second is Michael Schenk. 8-0 Serra leads here in the bottom of inning number 3. Petty 0 for 2, a strikeout, reached on an E4, scored the 3rd run this inning. Breaking ball, chopped back up the middle. Second baseman Kowalka on to Eris to finally end the Spartans' suffering here in the 3rd. The 4-3 put out of Petty ends the inning, but Serra Catholic, they strike for 8 runs. They do it on just 3 hits with helps from 2 Spartan errors. They leave 1 man aboard, as there was also 4 walks in the inning. And after 3 full innings of play here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason, your score, the Serra Catholic Eagles 8, the Laurel Spartans nothing.
Are you looking for stress-free car shopping at its finest? Well, then Davies Ford of Charleroi is the place for you. Located 728 McKean Avenue, Davies Ford has something for everybody with a wide selection of models from Ford. So come let us get you in that new car today at Davies Ford of Charleroi.
To get the Ford you want only, with the greatest of ease, pull on down to Davies.
Back here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason, 8-0 Serra Catholic on top as we move into the top of inning number 4. And it's McCoy, Tellez, and Kowalka due up for the Laurel Spartans. As McCoy, 1 for 1 with a single, stranded at third, back in the 2nd. Got an update from the other game. 2-1 Riverside leading Carmichael's. As that one skied up left side. Bashelia giving her unfouled territory out of play. As Matt gave it a look.
Yeah, I think it landed on the other side of the Laurel dugout. But hey, if there's someone that you're counting on to start something here for the Spartans, it's definitely Luke McCoy. Singled up the middle in the 2nd inning to get things started. Was stranded on third base. But hey, this is a Laurel team that you know that you can get to Zach Karp. You've proven that through the first 3 innings, getting runners on. You've left 5 stranded, and that could have changed the momentum of the game if you could have taken advantage of those opportunities. But at least you know that you're capable of doing things and making things happen against a pitcher like Zach Karp.
As that was a nasty pitch there by Karp, the 1-2 home, fouled off. And we go back, that inning took so much time for Serra Catholic. You almost forget there was 2 in scoring position with 1 out. And then 2 outs, and Zach Karp got that huge backwards K. And then that really helped propel Serra into that inning.
Yeah, that was a huge strikeout for Karp to get on Pasquarello.
There's Zach Black, strong throw, but it's high. Great job by Joey DeMoss keeping that one in front of him. But there's another, that's an
E6.
E6?
Yep, high throw. If that throws on line, I think they get him. Great play there by Black, and he fired it over there. I mean, that's, but he knew it. He shook his head. He knew it was on him.
I just didn't know if you thought that McCoy would beat that out or not. I couldn't tell.
No,
I was so focused on Joey leaping up.
Yeah, I think if that's a lower throw and it's on the line, I think that's an out.
And we can just go off the scoreboard too. They're making decisions today.
Yep, there you go.
Carp back to first as in safely as McCoy. One on, nobody out. Ryan Tellez, the junior, at the dish. Tellez now out in left field.
For once, my errors actually match up with whoever's running the scoreboard too, so I appreciate that.
As that one's fouled off. Count pulls even. 1 ball, 1 strike on the right-handed hitting left fielder as the junior Tellez trying to help break the goose egg off the Laurel side of the scoreboard. Pitch by Carp in the air out to deep center. Kite ranging back, and he'll make the grab. Eli Kite makes it look effortless as tagging up on the play is McCoy.
Yeah, there's a reason why Brian Zarenda at the beginning of this season, he told me Eli Kite is the best center fielder, not just in two-way, the entire WPIAL. Said he's the best center fielder he's ever had in 20-plus years at Serra Catholic.
Yeah, that
saying
one.
a lot. Saying a lot.
I mean, the amount of ground Eli can cover in almost no time is extremely impressive.
He's made so many huge plays for this team over the years. Not even just the routine plays that you kind of expect the center fielder to make, but diving plays, plays where, he's sliding, plays where he's, running left to right. I mean, everything. I mean, he's just a total package out there.
Pitch by Carp in the air, out to left center. Charging in is Rocco. He won't get there. As being held at third is McCoy. So runners at the corners here with 1 down for John Andre. Flew out to left his first AB, but shows you a great heads-up play there by Luke McCoy. During that second AB, tagging up on the deep fly out by Tellez, putting himself in scoring position. 8-0 Serra leads. Here in the top of inning number 4. Runners at the corners, 1 out, foul ball left of the third base bag as Bishelia gave a long run at it. Zach up over 50 pitches for Serra Catholic. As you wonder if they let Carp go much more than 75 here today, just due to the fact of pitching on, was it Tuesday?
On Monday.
It was Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday.
Or he pitched on Tuesday, and then, I mean, it's possible that he could be, if Serra holds on here, could be pitching on Monday as well. So, I mean, if I were, and I'm not, if I were coaching, I'd probably just let him go through this inning and, see what your offense does in the bottom half. If you're up by 10 runs, maybe go to Max Rocco for that final frame.
Yeah, but Shellier, Rocco, Dombrowski, all available today. Everyone but Isaiah Petty for the Serra Catholic Eagles. As Carp wants to go through the signs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runners at the corners, 1 out. Big inning here for Laurel. They need runs. Carp needs to find a way to put up a 0. The 1-2 up high. Count pulls even on the right-handed hitting junior right fielder.
Yeah, Carp kind of wincing out there when he threw that pitch. Maybe something for Serra to kind of monitor. I know he's throwing a lot of pitches this week.
Pitch by Carp, breaking ball in the air right side. Joey DeMoss going after it and just unable to haul it in.
Yeah, great effort there by DeMoss. A little too close to that.
That would have been really interesting to see what the Laurel Spartans would have done with Coach DeGennaro over at third and McCoy there. Would he have tried to send him with DeMoss running straight out?
I probably would have. That's a tough play to make in general. You got the backstop there.
It would have almost taken a perfect throw by DeMoss if he made that catch to get the out.
And you have to turn and you have to throw. I mean, that'd be a hard play to make.
Count fills up now on John Andre. Runners at the corners, 1 down, 8-0 Serra Catholic leads. Hasn't been a clean game either side. Here in the quarters. See what the lefty Carp has. Time granted to Andre. As it won't, they called a balk on Carp, but time was called. So I don't know how they would do that, and they're going to send both runners back.
I mean, I don't know how the first base ump didn't understand that was happening, but I mean, obviously Carp made that move for a reason.
Wouldn't be the first time Carp's been called for a balk here this season.
Yeah, that happened a couple times actually in that Shady Side Academy game. I believe that's how Shady Side Academy got their lone run. We talked about it earlier, him and Rocco combining for that no-hitter, but they got their lone run on a Zach Carp balk.
Payoff pitch by the left-hander, swing and a miss. Carp strikes out Andre. Second punch out of the game for the junior Zach Carp. Now runners at the corners, 2 down for Logan Ayers.
Ayers last at bat almost actually drove one down the right field line. It was a nice play by Joey DeMoss. Bounced and almost went over his head, but he made a nice play with his glove.
2 outs, 2 on, 8-0 Serra Catholic leads. First pitch strike here in the top of inning number 4.
Carp brought the heat on that one.
Carp set at the belt. The left-hander comes home, 0-1, chop foul, first base side. I think the more interesting thing here also about this infield, we were talking about it earlier, and I didn't really think I noticed it. Even though it's the dirt around the horn, the lines from home to the bases is grass as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely different.
In the air, left side, Bishelia giving chase, and that one sails up over the fence as the count stays put at 0-2 on the left-handed hitting senior first baseman Ayers.
Yeah, I had Bishelia's face. Just I could tell by his facial expression that wasn't going to be in play. Didn't even put his glove up. He just kind of stared at it as it went out of play.
See what Carp has here. The 0-2 by Zach Carp. Breaking ball struck him out. And Zach Carp is feeling it with that curveball there. Back-to-back Ks by the junior. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. 2 more Spartans left stranded through 4 full of Laurel's batting half of the order, I should say. They have left 7 runners aboard. And through 3.5 innings here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason on the Triple Live High School Sports Network, your score, Serra Catholic 8, Laurel nothing. As Serra Catholic will have up 2, 3, and 4 in the order, Coddington, Black, and Nico Aramick for Coach Zarenda. And as you said, if Serra Catholic can find a way to punch maybe some more runs across the plate, Zach Carp's day most likely done.
Yeah, I think if you get 2 here, then I think you have to go to a reliever just to kind of close it out. And it seems like as the season has gone on, it's been Max Rocco who's closed out a lot of these games.
Him or even, I'd say him or Dombrowski.
Dombrowski's done the same thing. So either one of those guys, both available. Like you said earlier, Petty the only one not.
I think they both pitched today, to be honest. I think they both get at least 1 inning. I know
Max Rocco is heading out to the bullpen there, Alex.
See, we know some stuff.
We know some things. I mean, come on.
And the reason I think you see Owen Dombrowski get an inning today is strictly due to the fact, talking to Coach Zarenda after that game against Best Center, he said, I had to put Owen in a really tough spot. Owen has one of the best windups I've seen out of any pitcher. So deceitful, the way he can hide the baseball. And he had to come in, pitch from the stretch, was uncomfortable, didn't get a man out. Then Carp came in and cleaned things up. But I think he wants to give him another opportunity to say, hey, yeah, your first trip in the postseason wasn't great, but here's another one. Get some confidence on him because he's someone they may need down the road if they go where they plan on going, which, again, Coach Zarenda said coming into the year they plan on winning not 1 but 2 titles.
Yeah, I mean, he said, when I talked to him about them getting the top seed, Whippeal Championship's nice. We've done it before. We've won a state championship before too, but we want to get that state gold. That's the number one goal of this team.
First pitch ball to Ethan Coddington. Coddington 0 for 1, struck out in a 2-3 housekeeping put out in the bottom of the first. Walked and scored the fourth of the 8 Serra Catholic runs last inning, as he's up 2-0 on the count on Pasquarello. That one inside, and Coddington wears it. So a leadoff hit by pitch puts Ethan Coddington at first here in the top of the fourth inning. 8-0 the Serra Catholic Eagles lead.
And it brings up ever dangerous Zach Black. He's been on twice. 2-run double in the third and reached on an error in the first inning. Almost took one from Pasquarello there as well.
Mitchell Pasquarello, the right-hander, set at the belt. 1-0 to Black, breaking ball. Breaks low and out of the zone, make it 2-0. Zach has a lot of power for a small frame. Sent one out in round 1 of the postseason, up 3-0 in the count on Pasquarello. Runner at first is Ethan Coddington, reached on the hit by pitch. 8-0 Eagles lead. Riverside was up 2-1 last time we checked in. The 3-0 in our third, make it 3-1 on Zach Black. I think it had to be perfect for Zach Black to take a swing at that one.
Yeah, I think this one has to be perfect too.
Coach Sorenda, he's thinking about the possibility of ending it this inning. So he's not going to stop being patient at the dish as Coddington takes off. Throw is strong, but bounces in and out of the glove of Kobalka.
And it wouldn't have mattered anyways with the walk to Black. About to say Coddington gets his jersey a little dirty, and I think Nico Aramix had a lot of work to do in the back in the catcher's position for the Eagles here today, just by looking at his jersey.
Yeah, he's going to need to take that to the dry cleaner. Or mom or dad's going to have some work after this game.
Yeah. Hey, if your uniform isn't dirty, you didn't do enough.
Did you really play baseball if you're not dirty?
Yeah, did you really play baseball? I mean, that's...
As Aramick in the air, out to left center. As under it is the center fielder, Del Rosa, and he'll make the grab. Coddington inches towards third, but he'll hold back as the throw is strong to Calderero.
That's a phenomenal throw there by DeRosa to keep Black at second base.
Here comes Joey DeMoss, 1 for 2. An RBI single last inning. Came around to score the 7th run on the E1. That allowed Matt Bisceglia to reach, who'd come around to score the 8th run that Serra's put on the board so far. An 8-run third inning for the Serra Catholic Eagles. Bottom of the fourth, 2 on, 1 out. Joey DeMoss at the plate. The pitch to Joey DeMoss. In there, strike one. Count goes even on DeMoss. Laurel and Serra Catholic, they've met very recently, though, in the postseason. We talked about last year, but it's been a normal occurrence almost. 3 times since 2018 now is the pitch to DeMoss. Inside, count goes 2-1. Serra Catholic has now won the last 2, looking to make it 3 in a row. 1-0 last year, 5-0 in 2018. Last time Laurel scored runs against Serra Catholic in any meeting, 2007, the 1A third place game where they beat Serra 13-0. As the count pulls even, throw down to second. Coddington back in safely. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. 8-0 Eagles lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Both teams with just 3 hits. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Runners take off. Strikeout, double steal. as Serra Catholic puts 2 in scoring position. So Coddington moves up to third. On the second goes Black. Here comes Matt Bichelio for 2, scored a run on the E1. As he reached on that error, an RBI single by Shank brought him home. First pitch, Bichelio up high, ball 1. 2 on, 2 outs. Bichelio looking for a big 2-out knock. He did that against Best Center. Had a 2-out, 2-run single that puts Serra Catholic back within 1. The 1-0 to Matt Bichelio, lined out to center, and that one short hops Del Rosa. Walking in is Coddington. Here comes Black, throw is strong, and they got him. As Zach Black thrown out at home. An excellent throw by the Laurel defense. Del Rosa quickly getting it in. Serra Catholic strikes for 1 more, but it could have been worse. Great job by the Laurel defense. So 1 run comes across on just 1 hit, a hit batter and a walk, and no errors in the inning. And no Eagles, or excuse me, 1 Serra Catholic Eagle left aboard through 4 innings of play here this afternoon. Your score, the Serra Catholic Eagles 9. The Laurel Spartans still nothing.
Hey, Jim Shorkey here. Just a reminder, if you haven't signed up for the Goal Achiever Challenge yet, please do right now. Don't procrastinate. Jump right on this. Just do it. Get it done. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So make sure you sign up for the Goal Achiever Challenge and check out Jim Shorkey's Pragmatist podcast. To check out that podcast and for more information, visit resultsfromthinking.com.
Back here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Zach Karp back out to work. Serra Catholic added 1 more run in the bottom of the 4th. Would have been 2 if it wasn't for a spectacular throw by Del Rosa, quickly getting it into the infield on to Ponsloff, retiring Zach Black. It was an RBI single for Bichelio. So leading things off is going to be Del Rosa. Put 2 good throws in last inning, as that one's fouled off. Strike 1 as Zach Karp back to work here for the 5th inning. Yeah, I think you're right, though, Jose. If Serra would have got it up to 10, Zach would have been out, as that one goes sailing to the backstop off the hand of Karp. Karp still under 70 pitches to this point of the game. And we figured maybe that 75 range for Karp. The 1-1, and that one misses. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody on, nobody out. 9-run lead for Serra Catholic. The pitch home by the left-hander, breaking ball fouled off by Kobe Del Rosa, the senior center fielder. Has been on base both times today. Reached on an error by Zach Black in the first, singled and was stranded at third back in inning number 3. 2-2 by Karp. That one's lined out to left. Max Rocco charging in, and Rocco will make the grab. 1 up, 1 down on the fly out to left, and that brings up Connor Ponsloff, the junior catcher. He's also been on base twice, but he is without the luxury of a hit. Reached on the fielder's choice in the first and was walked and stranded back in inning number 3. Laurel still looking for their first run since 2007 against the Serra Catholic Eagles. It's a long time to be shut out by a team.
Yeah, 3 hits in this ball game for the Spartans. McCoy, DeRosa, and Kobalka with the knocks for Laurel.
First pitch strike to Ponsloff, the junior catcher.
And believe it or not, Sarah's only out hitting them by 1, 4-3.
Sarah's just, I guess, got those opportune hits and taking advantage. That's something Shady Side Academy did not do, was take advantage. As that one's chopped foul off the front foot of the backstop, Ponsloff. As you can see him feeling that one a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was part of the reason that Aramick grabbed the ball and took it out to Carp, just to give him a little bit of time to regroup.
Aramick's now going to walk out and have a conversation with his junior pitcher again. Just buying time as he being checked on by the athletic training staff from Laurel will be Ponsloff.
I'm just trying to walk that one off. Not a great feeling when foul it off the foot.
And last time we checked in, it was 2-1 Riverside. See if I can get an update on that one for you as we continue on here. And that game being played at Norwin High School. Was originally supposed to be played at Peterswood Park, but the home of the Fighting Jose's is hosting that one.
That's right.
Ponsloff will come back in. Great to see that he can stay in this game for the Laurel Spartans. Count 1-2, 1 out, and nobody on for the Laurel Spartans. Down 9-0 here. Top of inning number 5, 1 out, thanks to the fly out by DeRosa. Connor Ponsloff against reach base in both trips to the dish so far without a hit to his ledger. 1-2 by the left-hander in the air, right side, over the head of Coddington, out to Michael Shank. He camps under it for out number 2. F7, now an F9, and here comes Calderero, the third baseman. A walk for Calderero and a swinging bunt back to Zach Karp in the third for Cameron Calderero. Struck out 5 batters here in the first 2 innings of this game before command got away from the big senior right-hander. Two outs, nobody on. The wind and the pitch home by Zach Karp in the air, right side, up over the backstop, out of play for strike 1. That was pitch number 76 for the junior, who's still in the relativity to go the distance as this one's lined out to center, and that one drops down in the left center field gap. Kite picks it up, fires it back in, and it's a 2-out base knock for Calderero. But with that being said, I think there's 0 chance Zach Karp goes the distance here today.
No, I think if Serra doesn't get a run in the top of the 6th.
You mean bottom of the 5th?
Bottom of the 5th? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, he does have a chance to go the distance. He doesn't have a chance to go all 7. I'll put it that way.
I don't know if we see Karp in the next inning, though. I think we see Rocco.
Up, out of play, into the pine trees as that ball trickles down the hillside.
I think Brian Zoreno is probably more willing to let Karp go in this inning. I don't know if we see him if they don't get one run in the bottom half.
Breaking ball, grounded out. There's Coddington, short way to Black to end the inning. So it's a 4-6 retirement of Calderero on the base path. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard through 4.5 here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason. Your score, the Serra Catholic Eagles 9, the Laurel Spartans nothing. Serra Catholic 1 run away from victory here this afternoon from Shaler, as it is going to be the bottom half of the order. Max Rocco, Michael Shank, and Eli Kite. Out of those 3, Rocco the only one not to reach today. Strikeout and a sac bunt. Shank's been on twice. Both of Michael's ABs came in the 3rd inning, and both of Kite's ABs came in the 3rd inning. As making sure everything else stays the same as Laurel's defense looks to remain untouched for the time being. 9-0 Serra Catholic, an 8-run 3rd inning for the Eagles. Started with 4 straight walks. 1 run would come in to score on the E4. That was Michael Shank. As then it was Zach Black. A 2-run bases loaded double, as Serra Catholic broke it open early on to a 3-0 advantage. And then the wheels would fall off. More walks, wild pitches, errors. And Serra would eventually plate 8 runs that inning. It all was capped off with an RBI single by Michael Shank, scoring Bishalia to make it 8-0. One more last inning. An RBI 2-out base knock for Bishalia, scoring Coddington. Almost brought home Black as well, and if he did, this inning would, bottom half of the inning would not be happening. Nine 0 Serra leads. Max Rocco digs in. And it's Pasquarello. The line and the pitch home. Up high, ball 1 to Max Rocco. The 1-0. Make it 1-1 as Pasquarello paints the outer third on Rocco. Nobody on. And nobody out. Bottom 5th, 9-0 Serra leads. 1-1 to Rocco as he bends out of the way of that one. Count goes 2-1 to the senior left fielder. Serra Catholic with the win would move to their 7th straight WPIAL semifinal appearance if they can hang on for this one. 2-1 up high, 3-1 to Max Rocco. And last time they were in the big dance was in 2018. That's when they lost to Cardinal Wuerl North Catholic 5-2. Last time Serra's won it was in 2016 over GCC 6-3 in 1A. As there's strike 2, Rocco thought it was ball 4, and he pats himself on the chest to the home plate umpire saying, "My bad." As Rocco wants to make sure he wasn't showing up the home plate umpire. The payoff pitch by Pasquarello to Max Rocco. Rocco does indeed take ball 4, so it is a leadoff free pass to Max Rocco. So 1 on and nobody out now for Michael Shank. 1 for 1. A run scored, an RBI, and a walk.
Yeah, both of those at-bats for Shank in the 3rd inning. Started the inning and later added a nice single to right.
Shank shows bump, pulls back, outer third, strike 1, fired in there by Pasquarello. Eli Kite on deck. Serra, no hits through the first 2 innings, struck out 5 times. They've only had 4 hits since, but plated 9 runs. A lot of walks. As Shank, a high ball bunted foul. As it's now 0-2. On deck again, Eli Kite, the senior center fielder. The 0-2 to Michael Shank. That one low, bounces off the dirt in front of the catcher, Ponsloff, as the count goes now 1-2. You know, Jose, that's probably one of the tougher things here. This is the first natural surface we've seen in the playoffs this year. Got to go from turf to dirt.
Yeah, definitely a big adjustment.
And more or less, I'm just talking about for myself, as that one's out towards the right field gap, off the glove of Andre on the hop, but nobody moves up. So it is a single for Shank, putting 2 on with nobody out for Eli Kite. A chance to end this one here.
You know, once again, Shank going the opposite way for a single in the right field. 2 for 2 day for him. Has reached in all 3 at-bats, and now Kite looking to reach for the 2nd time today. We see a bunt from Kite here? Or
I wouldn't be surprised, but you never know. He shows it, he pulls it back, and it's ball 1 on Eli Kite. Figure if they do indeed bunt Kite, that would give them 2 chances on fly balls to the outfield to end the game with both Petty and Coddington. Kite pulls back, as it's now 2-0 on Eli Kite. Two balls, no strikes, 2 on, nobody out. 9-0 Eagles lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Bunt shown, pulled back again, in there for a strike as it's now 2-1 on the senior center fielder. As Eli steps back in, Shank at first, Rocco at second A walk and a single to put the 2 on with nobody out. Kite chops it out to short on the second for 1. Going to be a tough play, and they won't get Kite. As Eli Kite's speed ends the attempt at a twin kill, so it's a fielder's choice putting Kite at first. And it's a 6-4 retirement of Michael Shank. Winning run now 90 feet away in the form of Max Arocco for Isaiah Petty. So it works basically just as good as a sack bunt, besides instead of having 2 in scoring positions, just 1.
And that's all you need is just the 1.
Exactly.
Say Petty, if anything, in the outfield scores Rocco, but anything somewhat shallow to DeRosa, I don't think
that's a tough play.
It's going to be a tough play. DeRosa's already proven that he's got a great arm, and it's interesting to see what happens in that type of scenario.
1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, runners at the corner. Petty shows bump, pulls back. Kite takes off, throw is strong, and they got him. Eli Kite caught stealing for out number 2, and the sac fly is no longer an option. You know, we've seen Ponsloff throw some absolute dimes down to second, and that's one thing these Laurel Spartans can do. They can definitely throw the baseball around the diamond.
Yeah, and Serra's a team that pretty good at stealing bases, so good job there by Ponsloff to get the speedy Kite, as that one just misses on Isaiah Petty.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Winning run 90 feet away in the form of Max Rocco. It's a 9-0 Eagle lead. The pitch home to Isaiah Petty, breaking ball as Petty has to duck down to avoid being clunked with that one as the count goes 3-1. Isaiah 0 for 3, reached on an error in the third. Scored the third Eagle run. As the count fills up on Petty, 3 balls, 2 strikes, runner at third. And 2 down. Petty trying to end it right here. The payoff pitch by Pasquarello. Petty ground ball. Out to short. Rocco touches home. Throw is in time as we will play on. It took a strong throw by McCoy to get him, and he did just that. 6-3 ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk. No errors, and 1 Eagle left stranded. Into the top of the 6th we go. See if it's Max Rocco or Zach Karp. And it is Zach Karp. Jose, good thing we're not taking a bet on how many innings Zach Karp's pitching today.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, I thought that Rocco was for sure going to come in after going out to the bullpen. We actually were pretty happy with the prediction on that one. But, hey, you know, Zach Karp's been very good today. Has got out in a couple of jams, and obviously has, you know, Brian Zarenda expressed enough confidence in him to continue on here today.
Yeah, I was almost thinking, though, if you are Serra Catholic up 9-0, here, yeah, you want to end it, but if you were going to bring in another pitcher to maybe get him some work, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. I'm also interested in the decision there to try the steal with Kite. You know, you only need 1 run. You know, that runner doesn't really mean much, so kind of interested in that call to send him in that situation. Because, to be honest, if Petty hits that ground ball, that scores Rocco. I mean, that's a tough double play to make.
Yeah, they barely got Petty as it was, let alone if they have to toss to second.
Right. So, I mean, I think a ground ball there probably would have ended this game. So a bit of a different call, but the 9-0 lead, you can kind of do those things, I guess.
First pitch swing and a miss by Luke McCoy. Reached twice here in this one, single and an error. As that one's lined, and what a grab by Matt Bashelia. The hot corner for a reason, as Matt Bashelia robs McCoy of extra bases. Going to give that one a star on the old scorecard here today. What a play by Bashelia. Now here's Ryan Tellez. He knows something about making plays like that. He had 2 incredible catches in the win versus Shadyside Academy. As he'll take ball 1. Sack bunt, first time up as this one sent in the air. Shallow center, drops between Black and Kite, and it's a 1-out single by Ryan Tellez. 1 on, 1 out, and here comes Kowalka, the sophomore second baseman. Ground out to Coddington, singled back in the 4th. One on, 1 out, 9-0 Eagle lead. Pitch home by Zach Carp, breaking ball, strike 1s, and there's the patented Brian Zarenda woo. The 0-1 by Carp. That one's lined out to shallow center. Kite won't have a chance at that one. And back-to-back 1-out singles, Tellez and Kowalka.
Yeah, second hit there for Kowalka. Now once again, Laurel, a runner in scoring position. They had a runner in scoring position in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th. Now again here in the 6th.
2 on, 1 out. Zach Carp checks the runner. Pitch home by the left-hander. In the air, a foul off the backstop, 0-1. And Laurel, third straight game right now in jeopardy of not scoring against the Serra Catholic Eagles. The 0-1. Breaking ball, 1-1 now. Two on, 1 down against the left-hander Carp. Carp checks back to second, pitch comes home, chop back. Carp up with it across to the Moss. And Zach Carp, the 1-3 retirement of Andre. 2 outs and now 2 in scoring position for Logan Harris, who is 0 for 3. A pop out to Connington, an awkward ground out to Joey DeMoss, and a strikeout looking to end the 4th. And the reason it was an awkward ground out is it's awkward for Joey DeMoss.
Yeah, had to stretch upward for the play, and actually looked like it was going to kind of trickle over DeMoss's head, but still made the play.
2 on, 2 down, 9-0 Eagle lead. And out here in a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll end this one early. First pitch home to the lefty, breaking ball, strike 1. Been a lot of contact against Carp. Hasn't got the strikeout numbers he's used to. Again, 69 and 45 and a third coming in. Ground ball. And that one sneaks past DeMoss. There goes the shutout, 1 run in. And the second one will come in to score as well. A 2-out, 2-run single for Harris, plating Tellez and Kowalka. And it's now a 9-2 game here in the 6th. As that one slides past Joey DeMoss. Pitch by Zach Carp. Low, misses, ball 1 to Del Rosa. Del Rosa been on base twice, a single, an error, and a fly out to Max Rocco. Harris takes his lead off first. 2 runs in, 9-2 lead here for Serra Catholic. Pitch home by Rocco, has to wait. Throw goes over to DeMoss at first. Pitch by Carp. Up high, misses. Now it's 2-0 to the right-handed hitting center fielder. Narosa showing off his arm so far in this one. Pitch by Carp, breaking ball. That one's lined over the head of Black. And Narosa, a bit of a backflip. I don't think the Eagles are going to like that. And they get the out at third. Great play by Rocco. Or they did not.
I lost safe. He was on the base.
I thought the base was a little further back looking through the fence. That's what happens when we look through fences, Jose, sometimes.
Yep.
I don't think the Eagles are going to take too fondly to that, though, Jose. I don't know about you.
I don't know if that's something that Serra Catholic really gets bothered by. I think we're going to see Ethan Dombrowski come in here. I know he's out to the pen. Actually, no, we're going to get Max Rocco. So that's going to be it for Zach Karp. He's responsible for those 2 runners on.
Not the finish Karp would have won it, but you know what? Doesn't always have to be pretty. Karp pitching on one day's rest through over 50 pitches that last game. And here comes Max Rocco, the big right-hander. And Max Rocco, he can really bring the heat.
Yeah, I mean, he's really gone from being maybe Sarah's number 2 starter to being more of a guy who can just finish out games, throw strikes. And we know he can throw the ball. I mean, we saw it during football season. He translates that into his appearances on the mound for the Serra Catholic baseball team.
Just 3 strikeouts today for Zach Karp. He walked, let's count them up, 1, 2, and I think that's just it, 2 batters, which almost doubled his season total. Went 5 2/3. Right now is giving up 2 runs, is responsible for the other 2 aboard, and he's given up 8 hits in this game. And not the sharpest of performance for Zach Karp, but right now has got the job done. Put his team in a chance to win with a big 7-run cushion here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs. And the flamethrower Max Rocco on the hill.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. He gave his team a chance to win. You throw a little more comfortably when you have a larger lead, and didn't have a strikeout pitch as much tonight. And credit to Laurel. I mean, they've done a good job hitting against him with 8 hits. He got out of some big situations. Laurel coming into this inning stranded 8 runners on base. So credit to Karp and his defense for being able to get out of some of those jams.
Here is Max Rocco now. First one to face him will be Ponsloff, the junior catcher. First pitch, strike, Rocco pounding the zone. And that's something with Max Rocco we saw early in the season. He's kind of trying to be too fine. When Rocco's firing all cylinders and challenging, one of the best. Fouled off.
He's the type of pitcher who can just, throw 3 fastballs by you. I mean, he doesn't have to do anything too special. I mean, he's capable of, mixing a breaking ball here in, but he's a guy who can just throw it right by you.
See if he tries to get some high heat and get a chase here by Ponsloff. 0-2. Puts one low, and Ponsloff holds off. I don't think many people were expecting Rocco to do that.
Yeah, I think Ponsloff, he wanted to swing at it at first, but does a nice job of laying off of it.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 2 in, 9-2 Serra lead. And there's the high fastball by Rocco held off as it's 2's wild right now, Jose. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners in, 2 on against Max Rocco. The 2-2 by the right-hander. That one's blocked by Aromick, keeps it in front, and the count fills up on the right-handed hitting Connor Ponsloff. Ponsloff's been on base twice in 3 trips to the dish. Runners at second and third, 2 down, 2 in. Rocco set at the chest. The payoff pitch by Rocco. There's ball 4. And it's Ponsloff who will trot 90 feet down to first as they're loaded. As we are going to see a courtesy runner. Remember, Ponsloff took one off that front foot earlier today. As once again, it's going to be Robert Kissick, the freshman. Here's Cam Calderero. A walk, a single, and a half-hearted swinging bunt. 3 trips for Cam Calderero. No balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, 2 outs. Big situation here for the Laurel Spartans if they want to come back. 0-1 by Rocco, pounds it into the ground low. Count pulls even, 1-1. Winner gets winner of number 4 Carmichael's and number 5 Riverside. The 1-1 by Max Rocco. Bounces, gets away. Runner comes in to score. Is in standing is Eris. And it's now a 9-3 game. So 2 on with 2 down. Another run to the ledger of Zach Karp. Karp also responsible for the man at third. 2 outs, 2 on. The 2-1 here by Max Rocco. That one misses as Rocco struggled to spot that pitch here today.
Yeah, he's struggling with his command here early on. Got ahead of both of these men, but
the 3-1 by Rocco fouled off. Count fills up 3-2. On deck is Pasquarello. 2 on, 2 down, 3 runs in here this inning. It's a 9-3 Serra Catholic lead. Rocco gets the sign from the senior Nico Aramick. The right-hander fires home. That one low, back-to-back walks by Max Rocco.
Brian Zarenda is going to head back to the pen again. Here comes Ethan Dombrowski.
Tough situation for the freshman as Owen trots in. Dombrowski came in with runners on against best center. Struggled to get an out. Max Rocco does the same here. So Max Rocco exits. He will stay out as he was replaced here by the freshman Owen Dombrowski. Isaiah Petty stays out and left for Max Rocco. 9th man to come to the plate. As that is Pasquarello as Rocco replaced by Owen Dombrowski. And if the one thing that I think benefits Owen here that he did not have the advantage of in his first game, Jose, Owen can come in here and pitch from the wind.
Yeah, and a little bit of a cushion too. You know, there's not that big. You know, yeah, the bases are full, so you do have that. But you know, there's a 6-run lead, so you can kind of there's room for error, I guess, in a situation like this. You don't want it to come to that though. 2 outs, you want to get this final out, and you want to try and add some more.
Michael Pasquarello, ground out, strikeout looking, and a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 3 as the lefty will face Owen Dombrowski, the freshman. He has number 1 potential as a pitcher according to his head coach. First pitch in the air. Right side, Bashelia. Under it, and Matt Bashelia makes the grab to end the inning. 1 pitch is all Owen Dombrowski needs as the freshman records his first playoff out to get out of the bases loaded jam. On the P5, it starts and ends with Matt Bashelia that inning. But Laurel strikes for 3. They do it on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Couple of walks in the inning. No errors, and the bases left full of Laurel Spartans. That's going to be a discussion point probably after this one. If this one holds up as a Serra Catholic victory, is now through 5.5 innings. Laurel, if I'm doing my math correctly, see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 runners left on base here this afternoon. As the Spartans strike for their first 3, but Serra Catholic holds it put there. After 5.5, your score, the Eagles 9 and the Spartans 3. Serra Catholic coming back to bat right here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIL postseason on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. As continuing the warm-up tosses is Pasquarello. Can give you the final line score on Zach Karp. 5 2/3. 3 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits, struck out 3 while walking 2. Max Rocco, no innings pitched. Did not give up a run, did not give up a hit. No strikeouts, 2 free passes. Carp leaves in line for the win. Owen Dombrowski holding things where they're at. 1 pitch, 1 out. Great job there by the freshman. As here comes Ethan Coddington. So Serra Catholic, they need a 4-run inning to end it, or 3 outs, whichever one comes first, barring a 6th spot by Laurel. First pitch, Coddington. He takes strike 1 from Pasquarello. Coddington, 0 for 1, a strikeout, but also reached on a hit by pitch and walk, scoring a pair of Serra Catholic runs. Coddington in the air, the other way, right side, and that one drops down foul. Long run for Andre as the count moves 0-2 on the junior second baseman, Ethan Coddington. Serra Catholic, they've scored 10 or more runs 14 times this year. They only did that 12 times 1 year ago, trying to make that number 15 here in this one after only scoring 9 in the first round matchup over Best Center. Last time they've scored 12, or 10 or more I should say, was the 12 spot they put up against Olsh. Strike 3 looking, Coddington sat down with the backwards K. Second strikeout of Coddington here in this one.
And Serra Catholic coming into the playoffs had only allowed 18 total runs. Only allowed 3 runs in 1 game during the regular season. Now so far through the first 2, 3 runs against Best Center, and now, well, 4 runs against Best Center, I should say, and 3 runs here today to Laurel.
As Max Rocco will have a conversation with his head coach, Brian Zarenda. Zach Black with the average exit velo over 90 miles an hour off that bat. Team All-American for his summer team. We all here in the Valley region know about what his brother, Mark, has done. Now at Wake Forest, hitting bombs.
Yeah, he's one of the best that I've seen, and that's the thing about Zach, though. I mean, he's made such a great name for himself. You know, I know it's, as a younger brother, I'm sure it's hard to follow in the footsteps, of a brother who has been that successful. But, he's done a great job of making a name for himself and kind of creating that, pathway to success.
Yeah, you bat .580, hit 5 out of the yard and drive in 31. It's a good way to make a name for yourself as a sophomore. As a nasty breaking ball there by Pasquarello. In for a strike to Zach Black.
And
but there's another one coming.
Yeah, there's another one coming, and Mark was very successful. Won 2 Mon Valley Independent All-Bat Company Player of the Year awards. And tell you what, Zach is in the conversation to potentially add another to the trophy case in the Black household.
Tell you, he has my vote, and I do have a vote, so that does say something. My vote actually does matter.
Yeah, something we'll discuss here, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks as the baseball season dwindles down.
Matt Bisceglia loosening in the pen for Serra Catholic. The payoff pitch to Zach Black. There's ball 4. Black walks for the second straight time. So Zach Black's been on base all 8 trips to the plate this postseason.
Unbelievable. And a Black being walked in the postseason, something we saw from Mark during the postseason in 2019, and now Zach getting the superstar treatment, not getting anything to hit. Too much to hit, at least.
1 on and 1 out. When he gets those opportunities to hit, he takes advantage.
Yes.
Those stirrups aren't holding up too well for Aramick at the dish. As Aramick lines it out to center, ranging back to Rosa, and he can't get there. Zach Black can fly. He's rounding third. Strong throw again. Comes into the cutoff man, and no chance that time. Zach Black in sliding. And it's an RBI double for Nico Aramick. Double digits once again for the Eagles. As here comes Fetzko to run for Aramick.
That was just a titanic double by Ermick. I don't think he missed a home run by too much there.
No, I thought it had a chance, but this is a very deep outfield. Over 330 down the lines. Dead center is the deepest part of the yard here. Maybe shade off to left a little bit. Looks maybe possibly deeper left center, but he hit that straightaway center off the base of the fence. Tell you, at Boston Ball Field or even Latrobe the other day, that ball is gone.
Yeah, almost 3 runs scored by Zach Black today. Got caught at home in the 4th inning, but scores his 2nd run there on the RBI double by Nico Ermick.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, this game's over.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play by Laurel to keep this game going. And talk about the throw by Kobe DeRosa there.
That man
Unreal.
has an absolute cannon in center field.
That was an unbelievable throw there.
That one bounces to Joey DeMoss. Bashalia on deck as there goes Fetzko to third. (10-3) Serra Catholic leads here in inning number 6. As here's Joey DeMoss back in. DeMoss, an RBI single and run scored in the 3rd. That's the only time Joey has reached this playoff season. Only in the 2nd game, though. As that one misses to DeMoss. And it's a walk to Joey DeMoss, bringing up Matt Bashalia. Runners on the corners. And a 1 down as that's 3 straight to reach for the Eagles. Bashalia, 1 for 3. Reached on an error and scored a run in the 3rd. RBI single in the 4th. That's when Zach Black got thrown out. Trying to make it a 2-run single for Matt Bashalia.
Yeah, Bashalia touches home plate after rounding the bases, and this game is over.
First pitch ball to Bashalia. One ball, no strikes, 1 out, runners at the corners. Pitch home to Bashalia. Grounder left side. That one picked up by the shortstop, McCoy. McCoy puts it in his pocket. It's an infield RBI single for Bashalia. And it's an 11-3 Serra Catholic lead here in the 6th. Second RBI of the game for Matt Bashalia as Fetzko's the 11th run. Matt Bashalia, through the WPIL postseason, he's put up now 5 runs batted in 2 games. Him and Zach Black have teamed up to be an explosive duo for Serra Catholic. Told you Black's been on base all 8 times. He's walked twice, and he's driven in 5.
Yeah, I mean, the middle of this lineup, when you look at the guys in the 3, 4, 5, 6 spots with Black, Ermick, DeMoss, Bashalia, I mean, it's just so dynamic. And you add guys at the top with Petty and Coddington, and even the bottom of this lineup with Rocco, Schenk, and Kite. I mean, 1 through 9, this is a very dangerous Serra Catholic lineup.
Dombrowski shows bunt. He pulls back as the lefty batting for himself as he came in to replace Rocco last inning. Owen hasn't swung the bat a ton this year. The 2-1 bunt shown again. Stab that up the third base line. Does it die in fair territory? It apparently does not. I could not tell. Was waiting and didn't hear the umpire make the emphatic foul call.
No one made a call there, but
that was almost perfect for Owen Dombrowski. Dombrowski has 5 singles and 3 doubles so far this season while batting. Hasn't struck out yet, and a 2-2 count now. So old announcer Jinx probably going to show up here as that one misses low. Full count now to Dombrowski. Dombrowski has also driven in 9 runs this year, walked 5 times. The interesting thing, we've seen Serra a decent amount this year. This is the first AB I think I've seen Owen take, as that one bounces, ball 4 to load him up. Run at second is Matt Bashalia. He represents the winning run. Michael Schenk 2 for 2. Been on base 3 times. RBI single in the third. A walk and a run scored also in the third. And a single back in the 5th. As we're going to see a courtesy runner for Dombrowski over at first base in a changing of the guard on the mound for the Laurel Spartans. As we'll get you updated on all these changes, is over at first base. We'll start there. It's going to be Colin Holmes, the sophomore, running for Dombrowski. So it will be Holmes over at first base, running for Dombrowski. Bashelia's at second. Joey DeMoss at third. Bashelia represents the winning run. As we'll see what changes come for the Laurel Spartans when we come back right here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Are you looking for stress?
I'm taking Bashelia out too, at least from running, because they're loosening him, so I think he's going to pitch. So that will be a change.
Oh, okay.
15. Who's 15? That's not 15, is it? Or is it 25? No. I can't tell who's actually out there at second. We have to figure that out.
For Serra?
Yeah. It's not good. Oh, there it goes. Back here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason. Some changes to be made as a new pitcher for the Laurel Spartans. As we will take a look at the changes, coming in to do the honors on the hill is going to be Robert Kissick, the freshman. Matt Bashelia represents the winning run out at second. New pitcher here on for Laurel. The pitch home by Kissick. Breaks behind Shank. Here comes DeMoss. DeMoss will score. And it's now 1 run away from victory for Serra Catholic. Hansack over at third represents the winning run, running for Matt Bashelia. Michael Shank trying to end things off here. And Shank in the air, out to right, and that one sails off the base of the fence. As Michael Shank, an RBI game-ending single. Second run batted in for Michael Shank here this afternoon. And Serra Catholic victorious 13-3. As they plate 1, 2, 3, 4 runs in inning number 6 to end it here this afternoon, beating the Laurel Spartans. Serra Catholic back to the WPIAL title game, where they will be awaited, or excuse me, back to the WPIAL semifinal, where they will be awaited by either Riverside, or the Carmichael's Mighty Mike. Should be interesting to see who Serra Catholic ends up with, but the Serra Catholic Eagles finish it off. Michael Shank out deep off the base of the wall, and the only thing that sucks for Serra Catholic's Michael Shank, that cost him maybe 2 more RBI the way he crushed that thing.
For a second, I actually thought it was over the fence. I wasn't sure, but yeah, a big wave for Serra Catholic to end it with 4 runs there in the bottom of the 6th.
And how about DeRosa as well? DeRosa's arm for Laurel, you can't say enough about what that kid did. You know, one of the Serra assistants going over, talking to him after the game. But DeRosa was excellent. Serra Catholic breaking off the team huddle. They know what's in store. The Eagles, they have a date in the semifinals on Monday. As we will recap everything for you here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason as you see the Eagles making their way off the field. But Serra Catholic, they took care of business here today. 13-3 your final score. Serra Catholic plates 4 runs that last inning. They do it on 1, 2, 3 hits. No errors, and there was some batters left on, but the inning never officially ended as Serra Catholic 13-3 victors over the Laurel Spartans. We'll run down the final recap for you when we come back and give you your player of the game, brought to you by your local State Farm agent Brian Warnick, right here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIAL postseason here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Life is full of surprises. Some good, some not so good. It's why your State Farm agent is there with good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates for everyone. Yep, that's right. At State Farm, you get great service and great rates with every policy, so you can be prepared for all life's surprises. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. When you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Warnick in Perryopolis today at 412-668-0111.
Back here from Shaler, your final score, Serra Catholic 13, Laurel 3. The Serra Catholic Eagles for the 7th straight year back to the WPIAL semifinals as they will look to once again get back to the championship game, as it wasn't always pretty here in this one through the first couple innings. Serra Catholic seemed to struggle to hit, but the bats came to life in inning number 3, and the Eagles did not look back as Serra Catholic 13-3 victory over Laurel here this afternoon from Shaler High School. Your player of the game, brought to you by your local State Farm agent, belongs to the junior right fielder Michael Shank. Shank 3 for 3, a walk, a run scored, 2 runs batted in for Shank. He is your player of the game, brought to you by your local State Farm agent Brian Warnick here this afternoon from Shaler. As we'll recap the game for you, Laurel threatened in the first. It was a leadoff pop-up in E6, fielder's choice and walk, putting 2 on with 2 outs for Pasquarello, who would ground out to Coddington to end inning number 1. Into the bottom of the second, a leadoff single by McCoy. He was sacrificed over. He would be left stranded, and through 2 innings, it was 0-0 with Calderero striking out 5 Serra Catholic Eagles into the 3rd inning. Again, Laurel would threaten putting 2 more on. Laurel had runners on base every inning here this afternoon. Leadoff ground out to DeMoss, back a single, then a walk, followed by a 1-3 swinging bunt by Calderero and a huge backwards K of Pasquarello by Zach Karp to end inning number 3, and that would set things up for a spectacular 3rd inning for Serra Catholic, where they would bring 12 batters to the plate. It was a leadoff single by Michael Shank, first hit or a leadoff walk by Shank, first Eagle to get on that inning, followed by a kite walk. An E4 put Petty on base, brought home Michael Shank to make it 1-0 Serra. Then a walk to Coddington, loaded them up for Zach Black, and Zach Black ripped a 2-run double to the gap, making it a 3-0 Serra Catholic lead. As coming into scoring a wild pitch would be Coddington. Black would score on the RBI single by DeMoss. DeMoss would come around and along with Aramick on E1s by the pitcher Pasquarello. Then Bisceglia, who reached on the E1, would come in to score on the RBI single by Michael Shank. That made it 8-0 after 3. Serra would add 1 more in the 4th, almost added 2. Leadoff hit by a pitch, then a walk to Black after back-to-back outs. It was an RBI single by Bisceglia. That plated Coddington. Black was thrown out 8-6-2 at home, keeping it at 9-0 at that point. Scoreless in the 5th. Moving to the 6th inning, Laurel would not go away without a fight. They'd bring 9 to the plate, strike for 3 runs on 4 hits, left 3 on base. As it started and ended with Matt Bisceglia, a line-out great play there by Bisceglia, 3rd for out number 1. back-to-back singles, then a 1-3 put out of John Andre brought up Logan Harris, who snuck one through for a 2-run single, making it a 9-2 game. Cue Max Rocco. He would come in to walk 2 straight. And then 1 pitch for Owen Dombrowski. He would get a pop out of Pasquarello. That would leave them loaded and leave it at a 9-3 lead. Serra Catholic would plate 4 runs in the 3rd inning as nobody besides the leadoff man Coddington got out. It was a leadoff backwards K. And then follow that by a walk to Black, an RBI double by Aramick, almost leaving the yard. That made it 10-3. A walk to Joey DeMoss, RBI single by Bisceglia, walk to Owen Dombrowski. And then Michael Shank ripped one deep off the fence for a game-ending RBI single. Would have most likely been a couple RBI for Michael Shank if it wasn't for that run ending the game. But Michael Shank drives it in as Laurel goes 3 runs in the 6th. 3 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors, 11 left on base for Serra Catholic. 8 runs in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 6th, 13 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and 4 Eagles left aboard the base pass. Winning pitcher goes to Zach Karp. Now 10-0 in the season for the junior Zach Karp. Lost to Cameron Calderero as Serra Catholic either a date with Carmichael's or Riverside on Monday for a spot in the WPIAL title game. 7th straight semifinal appearance for the Serra Catholic Eagles as they get the win here today over the Laurel Spartans as Serra Catholic continues to take care of business. See if I can get that score for you before heading off the air. But Serra Catholic, a big win once again, as got back to doing what they've been doing all year, and that's hitting the ball and keeping teams off the board. As the semifinals are upon us, as they will be on Monday. But again, Serra Catholic, they have scored 9 in the first game, 13 in game number 2 here. As they'll get the winner of Carmichael's and Riverside. Serra Catholic now 21-0. As Serra Catholic 32-12 overall in the WPIO postseason since 2007. Serra Catholic will continue their march again on Monday for that WPIO title when they will take on the winner of Riverside and Carmichael's. So we'll wait to see the winner of that one, but last checked, it was Riverside on top of Carmichael's. Your final score here on behalf 13-3 in favor of Serra Catholic. On behalf of Jose Negron, I'm Alex Lyon saying thanks for tuning in to see number 1 Serra Catholic move on to the WPIO semifinals for the 7th time, or 7th straight time, I should say, here in the WPIO postseason. As unable to get a score update for you, but nonetheless, great day of baseball here from Shaler High School, and Serra Catholic back to the semifinals. They'll play on Monday. We'll see you then for them, as we will have that semifinal matchup between the Serra Catholic Eagles and either Riverside or Carmichael's here on MVI Live's coverage of the WPIO postseason. On behalf of Jose Negron, I'm Alex Lyon saying thanks for tuning in here on this Thursday afternoon. And also, because I'm on the air and I can say this, big happy birthday out to my dad. Figure he's listened to this one, so happy birthday to him. And have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody. We'll see you next time on Monday when Serra takes the field once again, looking to head to the championship game for the 3rd time in 4 years. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody.